Hi everyone, it's Anita from Angelic Awakening. How are you all today? So I'm just joining you today, one day earlier than what I said, but it's because I feel the energies there and spirit are ready to communicate. So we're going to be talking today to the Archangel Purlimiek, which is the Archangel of Nature. So we're going to tune into nature today, tune into the Archangel. So this is the Archangel we're tuning into. And I felt quite inspired to wear green today, to bring green in. So I'll just show you I've got a tree in the background, some plants, some crystals. So I've got a lot of greenery here today. So it's just all in the name of nature. I wanted to do the video outside, but I got told it's better to do it this way. So this is the Archangel's energy we're going to be tapping into today. So I'm just going to ask you now to tune into spirit. So how we're going to do this is we're going to do an opening prayer with Archangel Purlimiek. So just put him over here. So we just place our hands over our hearts, however you wish. And we now invite in beloved Archangel Purlimiek to be with us today, the Archangel of Nature, just to work with us today to gain a better understanding of nature and all its elements, and whatever messages we need to hear from Archangel Purlimiek and Mother Nature. What messages will uplift us, empower us, and inspire us to work with the one consciousness, with love and light. So we ask that Archangel Purlimiek be with us all today, to surround us with the emerald green ray, and just to feel into nature. And so it is. So welcome. So we're going to just tune into Archangel Purlimiek and just invite him in. So this is the angel we're working with today. He's a new archangel to me in regards to Diana Cooper, but I can definitely feel he is an archangel that overlooks nature. So this is from the new Diana Cooper deck. So and it says here, let nature soothe you, serve the nature kingdom. So in this picture, we've got a new opening bud, and Archangel Purlimiek just soothing it, helping it out, allowing it to grow. And what he really wants me to talk about first is the emerald green ray. So green for him, and why there is green in nature, is to bring balance and harmony. That is the green ray. Balance, harmony, integration, cohesiveness, expansion, integration, healing if required. Green is a very, he's calling it earthly color. Mother Gaia chose for us to see green because green is the vibration of all those qualities. And for us humans right now, I feel, and most other beings who are awake, feel that our spiritual development, our spiritual ascension is very linked to Mother Gaia's ascension, because we're all interconnected and we can't do it separately. So Archangel Purlimiek is really talking about expansion today. He wants us to be the word that you kind of go away from today, from the video, is expansion. It's all about expansion in the heart. It's about expansion of the mind. It's about expansion and understanding of your understanding of nature and what nature is about. So we're going to get into the messages. We're first going to go with some crystals because they are a part of the nature kingdom. They are the mineral kingdom, but they have all their own consciousness. So I've got some green kind of stones here, and they're all different depending on the meaning. So I'm just going to tune into the mineral kingdom and see what they want to say about nature and expansion and growth, and all to do with the emerald green ray. So just tuning into the crystals. The first thing I'm hearing is, with this particular crystal, it's like different shades of green. So depending on your need, they're saying that you've got to pick, if you're going to work with green, tune into your I Am Presence or your soul and ask what green you need to wear today, what color greens you've got to surround yourself with, because different types of green do kind of slightly different things. So this green crystal here is saying about gentleness. It's talking about nature is about gentleness. Nature is about soothing. So when you go into nature, calling in nature to help you to soothe your emotions, calling in nature to help you to feel gentleness for yourself, just allowing yourself to be. And take it easy. The stone is saying we're going through quite a transformation, and this beautiful kind of light green is really excellent at helping you with transition, and it's more to do with gentleness. So that crystal is what it wanted to tell you, that shade of green. So this shade of green is a bit more like forest green, and this crystal is talking about health. And so today what caught my eye when I went to a health store is spirulina, is, you know, your green vegetables, your hearty green vegetables, and it's talking about health. So the health and well-being of yourself. So this crystal is talking about green foods are really good at bringing you back into balance. So nature has its natural way to help our bodies to detoxify, digest. Green vegetables, green plants, being outside, green herbs. Like, our bodies are really requiring the extra support right now. The extra vitamins. So I got guided today to go and look at a new vitamin, because our bodies are getting depleted when we're busy with life. And to keep your vibration up, you've got to support your body. You've got to go back to basics. You can be alive in spirit, but you're going to have a body that sustains you. So this crystal is talking about health and well-being, like looking at what you're taking in and digesting. And this could be a message for you to look into spirulina, you know, the green veggies, the wheatgrass, like adding it to your diet so that you've got more greens if you're not getting enough. But I'm not an advisor, so I'm not saying you should, but tune into your team of light and your I am presence and soul, and just ask, is there anything extra I could be taking to support my body right now? Especially if you're exercising or on a path of detoxification or trying to eliminate things. You've got to support your body with its immune system. You've got to support the body. So this is what this stone's talking about. This one here is interesting. It's like got like shades of light, a balance of dark and light within there. And this stone is talking about dedication. So your dedication to your path, the balance, the yin, the yang, keeping the balance, sustaining the balance. And they know it can be hard, but it's like, and I'm hearing perfect unison. So if you're in balance, you're able to like ride the waves of life. And if you're out of balance, then you're not able to cope. So they're talking about chakra balancings, Mother Nature meditations. I did one last night, really guided to sit out in nature or do a Mother Nature meditation, Mother Gaia. So that's really what the stone's talking about. And then we've got this beautiful, like, it's like crystals in there. It's quite shiny. And this is talking more about our galactic roots, that this planet is very old, it's very wise, and it's got a lot of galactic roots. And it's to inspire us to look after Mother Gaia. The galactics are really inspiring us to look after the children of the future, the animals, the trees, the plants. They're really sending out a message to really look after our planet. And then she'll look after us. It's that reconnection to the earth. And that's what I'm feeling with that stone. So great message. Ooh, great messages from the crystals. One wanted to jump out. Any other crystal has a message about nature? Emerald green. So they're talking about emerald green. So emerald green is really good if you want to re-establish yourself, if you're wanting to reinvent yourself, if you're wanting to like change your old ways, old patterns, old programs. Like, surround yourself in green, because it's like new beginnings, freshness, a new perspective. The greens, different shades of green really resonate. So you can ask your team of light what emerald green or what green or shade of green should you be wearing, digesting, or just going out into nature and keeping it simple, because nature is all about simplicity. It's not about the complication of things. So we've got this plant. Oh, we've got this plant here. And I wanted to tune into this plant and see what it wants to say. We've got this nice emerald green colour. This plant is talking about, if we're going back to basics in regards to looking after our body, plants need basic ingredients: sunshine, water, nutrients. They need time, they need patience, they need simplicity. And this is to do with kind of growth and expansion. When we are looking after our bodies, this plant's talking about, you kind of need an oxygen as well. So really, to look after your body doesn't require huge amounts of work. Like plants, it is nature. Our bodies are designed by nature. So they're saying like your water intake, your nutrients, your sleep. So plants don't sleep, but they have a night and day. So there's also, they have their periods of rest. They have 4 seasons. Like everything's very simple. The moon, the sunshine, day and night, 4 seasons. And their growth is intrinsic on their genetics. So like what plant are they? What grows? They have a divine blueprint. And this plant is talking about each of us have a divine blueprint of our bodies. And it's within our etheric body. And this is what our I am or our souls chose to be like when we were born. So alterations can be made to this, but ultimately we have a blueprint. And you can't deviate away from that blueprint. So you can't like, if you're born with brown eyes, you can put blue contacts on, but you can't change that. So this plant's saying it is what it is. Like when you were created perfectly as you are, how you were meant to be. That's the message. Nature never gets it wrong. So if nature created you with things you think are flaws, they're actually how you're meant to be. So I'm not talking about weight or anything. I'm talking about characteristics. I'm talking about nature, your inner nature. Nature's talking about the hair that you have. You know how you always want straight hair if you've got curly hair? The plant's saying that plants accept themselves exactly as they are because they know they're created from the divine blueprint. And the divine always gets it right every single time. So when a baby is created, babies are created with that blueprint of genetics from their ancestors, but also intrinsic natures. Like you can pick up the nature of being good at art. Like it's all passed down through genetics, and that's how we evolve and change and grow. So the plant's telling me that when we look after our bodies, we're able to sustain the blueprint. When we start to not listen and alter our DNA by, say, toxins in the environment, stressing too much, like things can get triggered in our DNA from environmental foods, and that's how you get your cancers, your disease. Like a lot of that is also alteration to your body, and sometimes things happen to evolve the body. So like because of our 5D consciousness, we can no longer tolerate like certain particular foods, and each person is very different. So you can't say one person you should give up milk and the next give up meat. It's very individual. And nature is saying like listen to your body. One of the biggest things I've heard this week is people doubting themselves. You know your body. When you talk to people, they know what works for them and what doesn't. I was saying to someone in your 20s with your weight loss and everything, you really like, you try everything's opinions, you listen, you try the new fad and diet, but when you get older it's about health and well-being. Your whole perspective changes. And if we can teach our younger generations, it's not about weight gain, weight loss, it's about maintaining your body, keeping yourself fit and healthy in your version of healthy, not what other people see you as. And weight is a huge thing in regards to like women in particular. I can only speak about women because I'm a woman. And it's really that understanding that we were created perfectly as we are, no matter what size we are. We have bodies that function. And nature is talking about accepting all of you, loving all of you, believing in yourself, trusting yourself, because you hold the answers. Your body has got a divine intelligence. And nature's just reminding you that's the message. Reminding you, you are the oracle. You have the answers. It's not going to a doctor. And so I had a colleague this week that was reporting hives, and always I talk about the holistic approach. Have you looked at your emotional well-being? Have you looked at your mental well-being? What are you doing spiritual well-being? Physical, because you know, it's easy to pop a pill or give yourself medicine if you've got a physical ailment and not actually look at the cause. So I'm a big believer in holistic health. So when something happens to you, listen to your body. Look at all areas of your life. And that's what the Archangel Purlimiek is talking about. You have your 5 basic ingredients, you know, oxygen, water, nutrients, sunshine, you know, the cycles. Like nature keeps it simple. If you go back to those basics, and if you're having something physically go on, look at your emotional body, look at your physical, look at your spiritual. Look at your foods. It's like a combination of a lot of things. And nature talks about keeping it simple and going back to basics, like getting enough sleep, drinking plenty of water. Because the green ray is about natural expansion. It's not about forcing expansion. And we have a care patience who works with the vibration of patience and nature. And our care patience is saying things take time for a reason. You can't force nature to grow. You can't force a plant to grow. They do it in their own time, in their own way, and every spark is different. So every blade of grass is different, but they all still contribute to the collective. So that's the message from nature, is that we all are our own individual blades of grass, but together we create this consciousness, this understanding. So let's tune into nature now. What messages does nature have for us today, for our understanding, our knowledge base? And I want this video really to just get you to feel into the energy of nature and how she's trying to help you. And Archangel Purlimiek, how are they helping us with expansion? So the first card I've got, these are beautiful cards. It says here, maintain your childlike spirit. So nature is all about youthfulness, fun, being. So being that the child that you are. And it's saying maintain your childlike, maintain your childlike spirit. And as that happens, my child walks in. So it's never coincidental. So the message of expansion is teach your younger children about nature. Go into the garden and show your children how to grow vegetables. Get the grandparents, ask the grandparents, can they do that? Because the children are our future. So my son just walked in when I read this message. It's not a coincidence. Maintain your childlike spirit. And in this picture, there's a kid in snow just enjoying the elements of nature. Children are so connected to nature. They're still in their pure state. They're still closely embedded in the earth. They haven't lost their connection. And it's about connection. Connection to your inner child, but connection to your earth star, connection to your root chakra around generations. Connecting to the earth star, it really helps you to stay grounded. That's the message for that card. Next message. So new experiences and possibilities. It's all about growth and expansion. So in this card, there's a lot of nature around this person. And what this is, the biggest message I'm getting from nature is we surround you. We enhance you. There is abundance of nature. There's always enough. And they're talking about resources on the planet. There's always enough to share around. It's how we share that is creating the issues on the planet. There is enough to go to every animal, every person. And it's looking at the abundance and how we can share it with people. So in your life, is there things you can share with people? Don't hoard your resources, because we're here to share, we're here to grow, we're here to be kind, we're here to collaborate. Collaboration. And then you've got this horse. It's almost showing success and achievement, and it talks about new experiences and possibilities. So this card's also saying to me, what experiences do we want in the future for our future children? It's also talking about expansion. To expand as a being on this planet, you've got to go through the motions and go through the learning, go through the cycles, like the moon cycles. Everything takes time, and everything has its divine order. And that is quite a huge message for everybody. Everything has its divine order and its divine place. Nothing is ever by mistake. That's a message by nature. Two more cards. This next card, beautiful, pause. So pause, and this being in the middle is surrounded by trees. So this is reminding me the calmness that we sometimes forget to reconnect with. It is in pausing when we receive. So that's the message. When you rest, you are more able to receive from the universe. When you are constantly active, you don't have a chance to stop and breathe. So what does this card mean for you? Pause, stop, halt. Because we need a period of, like before growth, you need a period of evaluation, reflection. You need to know where you're going, like get clear about your priorities, get clear about what you want to do, how you want to do it. But don't be fixated on the time frame, because things change. This week I've been showing that you've got to go with the flow. Flow is the word of the day. Flow, flow, flow. Go with the flow and trust. So much easier said than done, but it's so true. Because sometimes we get caught up in what we're doing. We forget to pause. And sometimes if you pause, take 3 deep breaths. This is about mindfulness throughout the day. You stop, you take a couple of breaths, then you carry on. If you get overwhelmed, you need to reconnect, reground. Bring yourself back to the moment, because it's all about power of now. It's not about always being in the future and always being in the past. And that's what the other message. Nature never looks in the future and the past. It is right in the moment. Plants and trees do not live in the activation or the energy of the future. They live in the moment. There is no time and space with nature. They have their intrinsic nature and they listen to themselves. And we are all governed by the same force. It's just we choose not to listen sometimes, and we go against what our bodies are telling us. And that's where you get your incongruencies and your inconsistencies with your, and like how you're feeling, what you're doing, illnesses. Like that's where you don't listen. That's when you get into problems. Last card, love matters. The connection between humans and animals and plants. It's so important. The collaboration, us, animals, Mother Nature, Mother Gaia. Love matters. That's the root of it all, love. That's why we're all here, to experience the receiving and giving of love. We are here for expansion. We are here for evolution. We can't do it alone. So in this picture, you've got all the elements. You've got the trees, ourselves, animals. You've got the sky. You've got to have it all to work together. So we are going to do a small meditation to connect into the tree of creation, which I've done a meditation for about. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the energy of nature into it. So we're going to really feel this expansion. That's what this video is intended for today, which I didn't know, but you never know things till it happens. You go with the flow. So I'm going to ask you to just place your hands on your heart, and we're going to just tune into spirit and just invite with an invocation. And I talk about prayer as a way of connecting. You don't have to do it that way. It can be called an invocation, a statement, an affirmation. It's whatever it just brings a tone to the session. So our purpose today is to connect into the tree of creation, as well as Archangel Purlimiek to guide us through a meditation that's going to help us to connect to nature and connect to the tree of creation and feel the energy of expansion and replenishment is the word. So I'll just ask you to place your hands on your legs, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths in our own time, just to connect with our body. And just pay attention to the sounds around you. Do you hear birds outside? Do you see trees? Do you feel the energy of nature around you? Just starting to connect with that sound and that peacefulness. And I'm now seeing a beautiful doorway in front of you. So as you look into this door, you see a handle and it's opening for you. And Spirit are inviting you into this plane where you're able to connect with Archangel Purlimiek and the angels of nature, as well as Archangel Samuel, which is the heart, Archangel Raphael for healing and integration. So you've got a team of light today here, specifically designed for us all. So as this door opens, you enter this doorway, and it takes you higher and higher into the clouds, and you find this doorway that's in front of you, and this opens up to a beautiful green field. And as you place your feet on this field, you just feel so much connection and lightheartedness, and you start to walk with your team of light, and on the grass comes a pathway. And with this pathway, it takes you on a journey through the forest, and you start to notice the trees around you, the birds, and you just feel the divine ease and grace of nature. And you just breathe in the emerald, all the green around you, just so much green, the grass, the trees, the flowers. You just really feel that connection with Archangel Purlimiek and the angels of nature, which are fairies. So you start to see little buzzing fairies running around you who are the angels of nature. And you're walking on this path and you just become lighter and lighter, and you start to notice below your feet changing onto like almost a golden path. And around you you're starting to notice water features, so like a river, a lake, a beach, whatever presents itself to you. And you just see the water flowing, and you can hear the brooks and the water just crashing, and you can feel the energy of water. And then you start to walk past these crystals and rocks, and you start to feel the earthiness of the rock kingdom and the mineral kingdom, and you start to connect and acknowledge and say thank you to them. And you notice like old rocks and caves, and just you're noticing like rock and mountains. So you're starting to see mountains around you. So you've got like the water element, the earth element. Then you start to notice the sunshine, which is a fire element, and you just feel the heat within your body, the warmth. And then you feel the wind, so the air element, and you just feel the light gentleness of the wind on you. And you just feel all these like different elements coming together in unison and harmony. And then you notice the animals and just the cohesiveness of what's all around you, the bigger picture, and how everything works intrinsically, and you just feel so at ease. And then you come to a portal of light, and it takes you into this beautiful kingdom where there's a massive tree. And this tree is Mother Gaia. This tree is tree of creation. And she invites you into her heart today to say welcome back. And she now asks you to touch her bark. And this is a very big oak tree. And she gets you to sit at the base of her roots. And you just feel yourself plugging into this tree of creation. And you just feel you relinquish your idea of what is, and you become one with this tree's consciousness. And you just take 3 deep breaths, and you feel that connection, that loving embrace of the tree of creation. And it's all about cosmic love. And just feel yourself being replenished by the tree of creation. Feel yourself expanding, your consciousness expanding, and feel the green ray really permeating all levels of your being, to re-nourish you, help you with expansion, growth, new beginnings, change, evolution, health and well-being. You just feel the green ray permeating in all of your mental, emotional and spiritual cells. And just take 3 deep breaths again. And you place your hands on your heart and you say thank you to this beautiful tree. And you just feel your energy levels increasing again. You feel your balance. So you ask this tree to balance all your chakras. So as your chakras are getting rebalanced, you just feel yourself becoming more centered and stable in who you are. And knowing that, you know, you're always supported, you're always loved and taken care of. And there, Archangel Raphael works with you, with your heart. Archangel Purlimiek just helps you to rebalance and soothes you. Archangel Shamuel is just giving you so much unconditional love right now, and Akia Patience is with you, and she's just supporting you with this process. So with all this team of light, you step up and give the tree a big hug, and you go through this portal of light again to this big sphere of that green field again in front of you. Your feet touch the ground, and you just feel you want to say thank you to Mother Gaia. So you send this unconditional love you hold within your heart all the way down through your root and earth star, all the way to the center of the earth. And you just feel Mother Gaia sending back to you gratitude, and it really helps you feel anchored and grounded and safe. And you're just so grateful for this experience. And you walk on this field back to the path, and you start to walk on this path again, and it creates a sense of stability and safety and belongingness to that one consciousness. That we remember that we all are based in love, and that's what matters. That was the message from nature. It's all about expansion, evolution with each other. So as you walk back to this path, you see the door in front of you, and you walk through this doorway, and it takes you back down above the clouds and kind of brings you back down to that beginning doorway. And as you come back into your body, you just feel this big swoosh of energy that feels so grounded and anchored, and you feel the roots going deep into the soil, and you're just sending out so much love, and you're receiving love as well. So you're a transmitter for the earth. And it's about anchoring our energy in the here and now, our 5D consciousness. So open your eyes. Welcome back. So that was a really grounded meditation, and it really was just to help you reconnect with Mother Gaia. So I'm going to do a pick a card. What do you need to know right now from Archangel Purlimiek about nature? So I'm going to have 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to have 3 crystals. So if you can place your hand over your heart and just ask, what does Archangel Purlimiek, the Archangel of Nature, want me to know right now? 1, 2, or 3. So we've got crystal number 1. So if you kind of resonate with that one, this is crystal number 2, and this is crystal number 3. So whatever crystal you're drawn to, or the number. So we're going to start with message number 1. For the people that picked this Aqua Aura, this is your message. So, first message for you, what does Archangel Purlimiek want you to know? Oh, look at this. Gaia, nurturing. So in this picture, you've got Mother Gaia. You need to start nurturing yourself more. You need to be open to receiving. So this message is about nature embracing you, going outside and breathing, looking after yourself, nurturing yourself. What can you give to yourself that others can't give you? And you're going through a time of expansion, so you need the extra support, the extra nurturing that you require. So the message is take care of yourself. Pile number 1. And then I'm going to pick you a message. Pile number 1. Not what you expect. So that's the flower of life. Today you may not be able to see or feel the wonderment of you. A limited belief or pattern you hold within you is covering up the truth of you. Someone or something will enter your life and reflect back to you the wonderment and truth of you. It may be disguised as something you don't like, for as we are well trained in noticing what irks us, but know that at the heart of all experiences is love. So let us all come to you. You are safe. Don't resist anything, and use your free choice and will to focus on what makes you feel good. You are on your way to feeling the marvelous wonderment of love, not what you expect. Also, too, they're saying, not what you expect. There are many blessings coming to you, and in order for you to receive, you've got to start nurturing yourself in order to be ready to receive them. Because remember, you can't be ready for something. It may be ready for you, but you may not be ready for it. So it's not what you expect. So the message is take care of yourself, and you'll start to hear the message from your soul or your heart on what pathway you need to take. And it's not what you expect. So whether it's a negative belief or a positive belief, the message is it's not what you're thinking. It's not what you're expecting. It's actually going to turn out better than you think. So that's the message. Pile number 1. Pile number 2, if you pick this card. What is the message from Archangel Purlimiek? Perspective, Milky Way. It's all about perspective. So nature really wants to say to you that it's all about how you're looking at life. How are you looking at it? Are you counting your blessings? What perspective are you using to approach life? And it's all about going within. So it's almost like you're going to the center of who you really are. And this is the process you're going in right now. You need to spend some more alone time to start kind of going within. And then what will happen is it's like an eternal growth. You'll expand outwards. So some cycles you go in and some cycles you go out. So the purpose of this is growth and expansion. So life sometimes can be really hard, where you've got to go within and really use all the strength you can. And sometimes you're, it's a different cycle. You come out on the other side and you're relieved and happy. So life has its cycles, and it's the way you're seeing it. So the message from Archangel Purlimiek for pile number 2 is looking at how you're looking at things, your perspective, because perspective is only your mind's view of it. If you want a higher perspective, you've got to go within and listen to yourself. So message number 2, pile number 2. Okay, next card, balance. So this is message number 2. For you to fulfill your potential to become all that you can be in every moment, you must be in balance. Otherwise, you're resisting life and creating tension. The resistance and tension are needed to a certain extent for anything to expand, grow, and become more. Learn to recognize that resistance rather than letting it run you. Anything you do, sense it, feel into it, and the next logical action step will present itself. This step will move you in the direction of your potential, your dreams and desires. Take a deep, gentle breath and thank whatever has moved you out of balance. Say to yourself, thank you. Thank you for showing me what I really don't want and reminding me to come back to my balanced place where I will be inspired to create what I do want. I am willing to experience all things, for in doing so I become clearer with my highest loving path. Namaste. Balance. Pile number 2. It's about balancing your perspective and looking at life with a neutral point of view. So what's going to help you in your walking your path is finding the middle ground of everything, trying to see it from all perspectives and finding that middle path. Okay, message number 3. Card number 3, Radiance, Summer Solstice. So this is about optimism, clarity. The optimism's coming to you, the clarity's coming to you. And there's a sad face in the middle, it looks like it, but it's almost like he he's getting a bit tired of going through the motions and going through getting up in the morning, then the sun rises and then goes to sleep. It's like a constant motion. So it's also saying to me that you need to start looking at the mundane, not just being the mundane, but also being really important as part of your path, because it's in the simple things in life you actually can make a difference in. And going through the motions, and some things need to happen, so the sun's got to rise each day, but it's how you look at it that counts. It's how you bless it that counts. So if you're counting your blessings, your day's going to be full of love and light, and even if things throw you, you won't be so upset. But if you're not counting your blessings and kind of just seeing, oh gosh, here we go again, the whole cycle of life, it's your attitude, your beliefs. So Spirit's asking you to really look at what lights you up as well. So do you need to bring more joy back into your life, a balance of joy? Do you need to spend more time out in the sun? Do you need to have some more fun? This also, the message I'm getting is by summer, that's when a lot of your projects will come into fruition. So around summer solstice, whatever northern or southern hemisphere. So those are the messages for pile number 3. So I thought we would invite in the fairy folk and see what they've got to say. So I've got Archangel Purlimiek here, and I've got a beautiful rose. So we've got some roses there and some rosemary. So this flower is really tuning into the portal of my heart. It's really calling in like Mother Mary. And the energy this week, really. The message I'm getting from nature in regards to flowers is it's about heart healing. It's about heart expansion. We're really going through quite a big growth of heart expansion. And why we need the heart expansion is because we need to be able to hold more light. So nature is also holding a lot more light than normal. So we're going through an evolutionary process of expanding our hearts. And Mother Mary is very big with this, and Lady Nada. So they're just in here talking to us. So what messages do we have from the fairies around nature expansion? First card. Admit your true feelings to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Only you know what it is that you truly desire. So in this card, it's a fairy sitting in nature. Time out. You need some time out to reflect and review. What is it that we're really getting into? The energy of 2021. We get bombarded with so many messages. We stop listening to ourselves. So the message is admit your true feelings to yourself. And nature just wants to say that it's about being in your energy and allowing nature to flow through you, not forcing it, not creating obstacles. You can help your life by going with the flow, breathing, realizing that there is a divine plan, because nature and spirit work hand in hand. They always work together. There's no question, no doubt. If a species becomes extinct, another one will come along, a new species. There's this process of evolution, death and rebirth, and there's cycles. And nature's trying to say to you, there are reasons for everything. And to get real with yourself and to start looking and admitting your feelings to yourself. So if you're caught up being busy, and people have physical ailments, they're not listening to their feelings. So some people will be so busy, they're not thinking of themselves. They're putting themselves last on the list. And the biggest message is put yourself on the top of the list. Because you're no help to others if you're not being honest with yourself and able to look after yourself. And only know what you truly desire. You are the only person who knows what's right for you. So, standing in your truth, that's the first fairy message. Next fairy message. Oh, this one. You've got the power. Use your abilities to resolve the situation. You can do it. So in this is a little child walking on a bridge. Oh no, it's on a cobweb. You've got the power. And in this picture there are butterflies, there are dragonflies. You've got the power. Remember, like the children, you have the power to create and destroy, because that's within nature. We have the ability to create and destroy. You've got the power. How are you using it? Are you going to use it wisely, or are you going to use it with force? Are you going to use it with gentleness? You get to choose how you use your power. Do you give your power away? Do you take it back? Nature always stays within a neutral place. So when you're giving your power away, or unconsciously or consciously, actually noticing you're giving your power away, you can learn and bring it back and call it back through doing forgiveness. You've got the power to change the way you feel about things. Because nature always tries to stay in a neutral position and not make judgment on what's happening. So if an animal dies, the animal or the animal kingdom does not judge that. It is what it is. And sometimes our state of minds like to elaborate a situation to make it worse than what it actually is. And there's always things that are way worse than that situation. And it's not about discounting your experiences, but it's about not giving power to the mind. And so this card's saying to me that we all need to know we've got the power to create our own circumstances in regards to how we react. So maybe we don't choose sometimes to lose our jobs, but on a higher perspective, there's always an answer to that question. There's always a solution to that problem. It's about being open and receptive to that, because we don't allow the answers to come in when we start to control and we start to be fearful. And I understand that, because me changing jobs, I'm thinking money and security and like the transition, and that's a normal human response. But it's like not letting it overtake you. That's what you have power over. You have power over your mind. So reminding yourself it's all okay each day. I'm abundant in other areas, like I'm abundant in family and friends, wealth, health. I'm abundant with family members being alive and well. You know, count your blessings. Okay. Last message. Pregnancy. The birth of a child brings great blessings to you in the world. So, this can mean two other things: a literal pregnancy coming, or it's talking about the birth of something new. So this year, Spirit wants us to start looking at what can we bring into fruition that we've been thinking about for a long time. And this card about pregnancy, it's about gestation. They're talking about nature and how pregnancy has its cycles, its times. And it's because a fetus cannot just jump out at the age of 3 weeks. It wouldn't cope or survive in the world. A baby, they're showing me a picture of a fetus growing into an embryo, like embryo fetus, then becoming a baby. And, you know, through the different cycles, pregnancy, Everything has its gestation because you can't force the process. So the more you're at ease with it and accept, like if you're pregnant or you've been pregnant, the fact that you're always wanting it to hurry up, but everything has its perfect timing. Remember, the baby comes when it wants to, not when the mother wants it to. It's almost that understanding that some things can't be forced. It's just nature. And this card's saying to me, this year they really want us to start bringing our eyes into fruition, our ideas into fruition. Like if you've been wanting to start something, plant the seeds. Also give it time. Don't rush the process. I feel one more card coming on. Fairies have a lot to say. Travel. An upcoming trip proves to be life-changing in positive ways. So this can either indicate a trip you may be going on, and it's talking about how this trip's going to really change the way you see things. It's also going to help you to have a break and laugh. It also refers to maybe you need to look at just going for a holiday somewhere and having some time out. It also must mean to other people that it's time to start traveling on that path, getting back on your path and walking it with faith, and not necessarily knowing all the answers, but trusting that everything will be lit up for you, like how this fairy's lighting up the antlers. You'll be shown the way a bit at a time, and trust means you're walking faith. Trust is faith with action, having the faith and moving forward. Trust means you can walk without knowing what's going to happen in the future, and that's faith in action. I saw it somewhere and I thought that's a beautiful summary of trust. And this year it's all about trust. It's all about trusting yourself, trusting the process, trusting nature, trusting we have enough abundance in the universe, because we get sometimes too greedy as humans and we start to go, can't share because we don't have enough for ourselves. You can always share. There's nothing wrong with sharing. We should be sharing our resources, our time and our energy. But having boundaries, and really clear boundaries around not sacrificing yourself. There's a big difference between sharing and self-sacrifice. You don't have to self-sacrifice. That's not what we're here for. We're here to share our resources, share our time, our energy, but not to the detriment of your own well-being. Because I've been there, and when you're depressed and fatigued, the only person is going to pull yourself out of it is you. And if you've been giving so much of yourself, you've got no strength to pull yourself out of that hole. And that's when you need to rely on others to help you. And I've talked about this in mental health. You get to a point where you kind of have this resilience about you after letting yourself self-sacrifice for so long. You stop doing it because you realize that the amount that you sacrifice doesn't amount to how much you love somebody. If you love somebody, sometimes you've got to give them tough love and not help them out. And it's about owning your power and standing in your power as a being and letting that person learn their lesson, because sometimes helping people out actually takes their power away from that lesson. So that's what that power message was about. Okay, we're going to end some final messages from nature through flowers, because flowers are one of the elements of nature. So we're going to bring the flower forward. A rose. I'm going to have her in the background, and we're going to just tune into the portal of our heart and see what nature wants. Oh my gosh, one flew out. Right. So I'm going to read 3 messages, our final messages. So the first one is tuberose. So when you look into the card, is there anything drawing your attention? So sometimes about trusting your intuition with cards. The feeling I'm getting is love. Love in all aspects. So what does this card what stands out for you? The colours, the imagery, the people. So I'll read the message once I find it. I'm really happy I got to do the video today. I thought I was going to do it tomorrow, but I'm really happy because I'm in the vibe. Feeling nature, feeling connected, because nature is about connectedness as well. So people think spirit is about going up to heaven all the time and the angels, but also connection to spirit is with animals, with fairies, with the earth. Like the earth is Mother Gaia, she's the female aspect of God, and the male aspect is, if we're looking at duality, the male aspect is like Father, Mother, Sky, and at the earth is our roots, it's a different form of spirit. So they're saying honouring both, as above, so below. There has to be a balance. Anyway, while I was talking, I kind of got off track. That's okay. We will eventually find it. Here we go. So the message is, so the qualities are intuition, peace, protection, purification, sensuality, and wealth. So I'm not going to read that. I will read what I'm guided. Right. Tuberosa's pure central presence also communicates that while you may enjoy being in relationship with others, you are in truth one with the divine and therefore never dependent on any person, place, or infinite condition for your ultimate satisfaction. Through letting go the need of control to predict the future, you open up to the spontaneous joy and romance of the present, and all that has been you've been chasing after begins chasing after you. Good message, eh? It's about spontaneous joy and romance of the present. That's message 1. Oh, sorry, flower. Message number 2. What does Mother Nature want us to know? Oh, 2 cards. Got our final 2 messages together. So we've got Snapdragon and we've got Clover. So when you look at this imagery, what's standing out for you? Is there a particular card you're drawn to? So these messages go together. So I'm going to read Clover first, and then we'll see. The message I'm getting here is halt, pause, and it's surrounded by the green. So rejuvenation, needing to rejuvenate ourselves. Need ourselves to bring ourselves back into balance. Let's read Clover. Right. So the words for this are abundance, beauty, gentle strength, health and healing, protection, purification, and simplicity. Consider a tiny white clover blossom in a vast meadow. She does not tower over the scene or even steal your attention with a bold shape or vivid colour. Still, she trusts her inherent worthiness and beauty, and she knows without doubt she contains infinite within her cells. Here is some advice. Proceed with gentleness and humility. All that while knowing you have the power of Source is infinite. If you follow the clover's example of gentle strength, in a matter of time before you experience favorable conditions and relating to the subject of your inquiry. After taking a moment to relax and clear your mind, get very clear on what feels right to you. What would you like to experience and what would you not like to experience? Then realize, believe, and affirm that your authentic desire is simply a picture of what is already so in the place beyond time. From the grounded trust in the integrity of your desire, move forward. This may entail speaking up or staying silent, taking action or laying low. It will not entailing hurrying, worrying, forcing the ego's agenda, or acting out of desperation in any way. The bottom line is that once you align yourself deeply with the harmonic resonance of your divine source, you will know what to do. Beautiful. Last message, Snapdragon. The message. Owning your power, protection, and truth. Speaking your truth may not always feel easy in the short term, but in the long term, it is far easier than the alternative for everyone concerned. Sometimes we feel as if we're speaking an unpopular or undesirable truth is inevitable, akin to rudeness, but this never needs to be the case. For example, if there is something you doesn't feel okay to you, or if there is a situation you have outgrown and no longer need, you can hold a neutral, unconditional, loving tone as you calmly state what is true for everyone concerned. Ultimately, asserting your truth is a boundary issue. For example, you might relax and envision a vibrantly coloured circle or sphere around you, pink, yellow, or red, Within the circle, be aware of what is true for you and what is truest and most authentic voice wants you to say in this situation. Do not allow anyone else's thoughts or expectations color your feelings. Then when you are ready to assert your feelings, come from what is inside your circle. Be kind, but assert your truth thoroughly and without making up stories. Try to speak with I feel, it is important, or I'm going to move on because. The message is stop trying to control people or situations through withholding your true thoughts or feelings. Speak your truth, live your truth, be your true self. So when I look at these two cards together, I'm getting the gentleness and also the strength. So you have to find the balance when you're talking to people. And what nature is really good at is balance. It's always, if one thing passes or dies, something new comes along. And it's like that law of impermanence, that there's always constant change in the universe, not getting fixated on things staying the same way, because they always change. Old ideas are always dying, trees, plants, there's a process, there's a timing. And these two cards are saying to me, own your power, no matter what the situation, speak your truth. With gentleness, with assertiveness, and with love. So I'm going to end with Archangel Purlimiek, his final messages for us. So he says, within all of us, within each of us, we hold a purity about us. And he wants us to remember that we are all pure of heart. We are innocent children of the Creator. And he wants us to remember that we are all doing the best that we can. And ultimately, there is never a wrong or a right. It's about finding the middle ground, finding the balance. Balance is about harmonizing your answers to be liberated from the past and the future, so you can be in the now. Growth and expansion is about allowing yourself to be as you are and allowing yourself to change and evolve as you need to. Growth and expansion is about giving yourself time and not rushing the process. Being gentle with yourself and loving yourself unconditionally. So Archangel Purlimiek is saying thank you for watching the video and just wanting to hear the messages from Spirit today. And I'm just going to end with the final flower message for us all, a take-home message from Archangel Purlimiek that will close the video for us. So one message from Archangel Purlimiek, please. What a beautiful card to end with. Lily. So in this imagery, what stands out for you? And look at this beautiful imagery. She's opened up to Spirit. She's allowing. She has nature in front of her and Spirit, as above, so below. So I'm going to read the message. Lily. And this is what Archangel Purlimiek really wants us to kind of absorb and take into consideration. Right. I'm going to read the message. The Lily's magical specialities: angel invocation, divine assistance, divine love, divine beauty, entity clearing, protection, goddess alignment, harmony, ease, and safe and harmonious travel. You are never alone in this world. You are surrounded by helpful beings, both seen and unseen. Simply saying the word by humble and lovingly requesting assistance sends the help in motion. Whenever this card appears, take a moment to center yourself and focus on the divine in any way that feels powerful for you. And from the bottom of your heart, ask. Ask aloud for help that you need. Consider whether there is any person, animal, or group in the physical world that might be able to help you with a challenge or issue. Next, you must allow the help in an energetic way. In other words, when we ask for help, but then hold on to the need to control or a belief that we do it ourselves, it makes it difficult or impossible for this help to come. Then effectively blocks the natural flow of divine assistance that wants to suffice and abundantly characterize our life experience. To illustrate, it would be like asking a friend to drive you home, then refusing to get out of the driver's seat. The friend is willing to be able to help you, but is restricted from doing so of your reluctance to receive the very assistance you requested. So in order to allow this help to arrive, take some deep breaths, consciously relax, and leave tension out of your body. And from a feeling place rather than a thinking one, unclench everywhere. The message is release the need to control everything and any beliefs such as if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Affirm help is everywhere for me. Helpful beings in both seen and unforeseen worlds abound. Everyone is always helpful. I now allow myself to receive the help I need. Affirm divine orchestration now characterizes my life experience. Everything flows smoothly and harmoniously. I am safe and all is well. Let me read that one more time. Divine orchestration now characterizes my life experience. Everything flows smoothly and harmoniously. I am safe and all is well. So that is the final message. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week with, let me think, I think it is Ilihim Casnopia. And it is the final Ilihim of the 7 mighty Ilihim, so it's going to be a very beautiful video. So many angelic blessings to you all. Bye!